Good evening. Today is Thursday, February 12th, and thank you for tuning in to Ashland Tonight News. Here is a look at today's top stories.
AU students were able to pay appreciation to faculty members, find out who is among those faculty members and why. And today marks the 200th birthday of one former U.S. president. Stay tuned to hear who.
And which lucky faculty members will be receiving promotions and why? Those details are next. And every February across the country, candy, flowers, and gifts are exchanged between loved ones, all in the name of St. Valentine. But who is this mysterious saint, do you ask? And why do we celebrate this holiday? Well, stay tuned to find out. I'm Brittany Lee.
And I'm Laura Roberts, and that's all coming up next on your Ashland Tonight News.
Welcome back. AU students had the chance to recognize outstanding faculty members at the university's 23rd Annual Academic Mentor Recognition Ceremony. This banquet was held in AU's John C. Meyer Convocation Center. The program recognized 7 faculty members whose leadership skills and availability extend beyond their classroom support as they help students strive for success. The mentors were nominated by students, and they were then each represented with an engraved silver platter recognizing their contributions.
A number of AU faculty will receive promotions or tenure for the 2009-2010 school year. Professors promoted to the rank of full professor include Dr. Herb Broda, Dr. Brenda Colhan, Dr. Mitchell Mexiger, Dr. Mason Posner, Dr. Robert Rogers, and Dr. Lee Weatherby. Staff gaining promotions to associate professor are Dr. Linda Joyce Brown, Dr. Marla Butke, Dr. Allison Dickey, Dr. Tom Harvey, Dr. Jill Lynch, Dr. Justin Lyons, Dr. Louis Mancha, Dr. Paul Milton, Dr. Nate Myers, Dr. David Silverberg, and Dr. Patricia Saunders. Tenure status was granted to Dr. Judy Alston, Dr. Cynthia Bowman, Dr. Janet Keenery, Dr. Louis Mancha, Dr. William Payne, Dr. Howard Walters, and Dr. Rachel Woldarski. The promotions were granted by the AU Board of Trustees and will take effect July 1st, 2009.
AU's Ash Book Center celebrated the 200th birthday of former U.S. President Abraham Lincoln today. A light luncheon was held in the John C. Myers Convocation Center in honor of the day. Dr. Peter Schramm gave an address as part of a lecture series titled Abraham Lincoln, American in Words and Deeds. His speech focused on the effect Lincoln's actions still have on our country.
Ashland University will have the opportunity to take an in-depth look at how global climate change will affect Ohio. Assistant Professor of Agriculture from Ohio State University will be in the Hawkins-Conard Student Center auditorium to give his lecture on climate change in Ohio, threats, impacts, and opportunities. He believes that the climate change is the most important environmental issue today, and the human role and choices made by society also contribute to the environmental problem. He adds that Ohio is in so many other ways the center of the climate change debate. The lecture will explore how climate change will affect Ohio and the citizens that live there.
A retired colonel spoke on campus this week about foreign policy. The title of his speech was, "We Don't Have a Defense Strategy." The speaker gave lectures in the Hawkins-Conard Student Center auditorium while discussing problems with the current defense strategies. He said these strategies have been used for preparing war instead of preventing our country from going into battle. He also spoke about recently proposed government defense budget. Colonel Smith is a Vietnam veteran who is currently serving as a senior representative for the National Legislation on Military Affairs. The event was hosted by the Ashland Center for Nonviolence.
The bookstore also invites you to bring in handcrafted Valentine's Day cards in order to receive a 14% discount on clothing, gifts, and general books. This will be going on through February 14th, so make sure you get out there and participate. The moment you have all been waiting for, the history of Valentine's Day. Well, one legend contends that Valentine was a priest who served during the 3rd century in Rome, when Emperor Claudius decided that single men made better soldiers than those in love. He banned marriage and love for everyone. Valentine defied Claudius and continued to marry people, and when his actions were discovered, he was put to death.
Well, Laura, another legend is that the Valentine fell in love with a woman while he was in prison, waiting to be put to death. And he used to send her love notes and sign them from "Your Valentine," which is an expression that is still used today. Pretty interesting, don't you think?
That was very interesting, Brittany. Well, there's good news or bad news that may be coming soon for Ashland residents. We'll have more on that story next. And a drug bust in Mifflin Township may have uncovered more than we expected. Stay tuned to hear those shocking details, and it's not too late for Valentine's gift ideas. We'll reveal our top 5 Valentine's Day gifts shortly. Stay tuned, it's all coming up on TV2 after the break.
Our children want to know everything about the world around them. And yet sometimes what they discover makes them feel vulnerable and insecure. In times like these, they need the comfort of an adult, the honesty of parents, and playtime to help them deal with their feelings and fears. Time that will literally heal their hearts. The gift of imagination allows children to see a better world. Playtime allows them a chance to practice creating it. Don't underestimate the power of play.
Defenders of the homeland. We are the shield of freedom. We are the United States Coast Guard.
Heed your country's call. Join the Coast Guard or Coast Guard Reserve, the shield of freedom.
Welcome back. The Ashland University Theater Department is set to open its new musical. The Spitfire Grill is praised for its soaring, folksy score reminiscent of Americana. The play follows an unlikely heroine to a one-horse town in need of hope. This unexpectedly arrives in the form of ex-con Percy, who is looking for a new start. In an age of big brassy musicals, the Spitfire Grill takes the audience of a soulful musical journey. Tickets are $10, $9 for senior citizens and children under 12, AU faculty and staff, and non-AU students. Tickets are $8 for groups of 10 or more, and $2 for students with an Ashland University ID. For tickets or additional information, please call the AU box office at 419-289-5125.
A new proposal from Governor Ted Strickland is hitting home for many Ohio public school systems. There has been a proposed educational reform plan that calls for a banning of corporal punishment. If the bill is passed, administrators will no longer be permitted to spank students as a form of punishment anywhere in Ohio. So far, there are only 17 school districts that allow corporal punishment. This includes Hillsdale local schools. Many schools do not always resort to this method. Hillsdale Elementary and Jeromesville Middle School reported at least 5 cases of spanking so far this school year. If the ban is approved, Ohio will be one of 30 states that does not allow spanking in the school.
More details are surfacing over the drug raid at a Mifflin Township home. The Ashland Police Department responded to a home on Township Road and confiscated crack cocaine, marijuana, prescription medication, crack pipes, rolling papers, and a handgun, in addition to 2 vehicles. The Ashland Police Department said the response team executed a search warrant and had reason to believe that drugs were being exchanged for sexual favors at the home. A total of 22 officers responded to the scene, including Ashland Police, the Sheriff's Office, and the Loudonville Police Department. The case is still under investigation, and 2 suspects have been targeted. However, no arrests have been made in connection to the execution of the search warrant. Anyone with information on the case should call the Ashland Police Department at 419-289-3639.
Good news or bad news for Ashland residents, changes to the garbage collection schedule may be coming soon. Ashland officials have been working on a plan to reduce trash pickups from twice a week to only once a week. With economic issues affecting the Ashland area, the council has said this would be more help to the Department of Street and Sanitations, and it would help them deal with projected budget The estimated amount of money that will be saved from the new schedule is predicted to be around $150,000 a year. This motion is currently waiting on the approval of the Mayor and Ashland City Council. Once approved, the change could be beginning as soon as March 1st. Many Ashland residents experienced a power outage due to severe winds. Let's find out if these winds are here to stay with weather updates from our very own Leland the Weatherman Gottlieb coming up next.
Neurofibromatosis, or NF, is a genetic disorder that causes tumors to grow anywhere on or in the body. It can lead to blindness, deafness, loss of limbs, brain tumors, and severe disfigurement.
Neurofibromatosis.
Let me make it easy for you. Children's Tumor Foundation. The Children's Tumor Foundation, dedicated to ending neurofibromatosis through research. Let's all start saying it.
Children's Tumor Foundation.
Congratulations on the promotion.
I hope you're saving the extra money.
You gotta put it in stocks.
If you want to get ahead.
No, bonds.
And CDs.
Stick it under the mattress.
Getting plenty of advice, but not enough facts? Visit saveandinvest.org. No confusing advice, no sales pitch. Just unbiased information and tools to help you manage your money with confidence. Saveandinvest.org.
Does peace really have a chance within our lifetime? At Rotary, we believe it does. We've created programs at universities around the world, dedicated solely to teaching peace to a new generation. There's a new symbol for peace. Rotary.
Is she thirsty or diabetic? Is he tired or arthritic? Subtle behavioral changes can be early signs of disease in pets. These changes are often less obvious in cats, which can be better than dogs at hiding illness. But a wellness exam from your veterinarian twice a year can help detect, treat, or prevent many health problems before they become serious. So call your veterinarian and schedule your pet's wellness exam today.
Nothing gets my blood pumping more than a packed stadium, fans cheering, and the swish of a perfect basket. When I was diagnosed with colon cancer, it became an eerie silence. Early detection helped me, and it can help you too. Today, colon cancer can be treated with minimally invasive surgery, which will get you back in the game sooner than open surgery. I want you to meet my friend, Dr. Michael Harris, who's joined me in the fight.
Good one, Coach. Each year, more than 145,000 Americans will be diagnosed with colon cancer. It's the second largest cancer killer in the United States, but it doesn't have to be. Colon cancer is preventable, treatable, and if found early enough, beatable. If you are over 50 or have a family history of colon cancer, speak to your doctor, get screened, and understand your treatment options. Heads up, Coach.
Visit mybluestar.org and pass it on.
Welcome back to Ashland Tonight News. I am Leland, the weatherman Gottlieb, bringing you, yes, Ashland's weather. What a difference 24 hours makes in weather. Excuse me, I can't talk today either. Yesterday, we saw temperatures in the 60s. Last night, we saw winds move into the area with a strong low pressure system, and now we're sitting in the 30s. Let's see what is responsible for this on the current map. Right now, we have a high pressure system here, so it doesn't look like anything's going on. But as you take a look up into the Maritimes and the northeast, you can see a powerful low pressure system which moved through the area, and we saw winds gusting over 60 miles per hour. Now we have a high pressure system here, so we'll have some clear skies and maybe some lake effect snow from those winds moving over those frozen lakes. It doesn't look like we'll see much in the way of accumulation. Now let's take a look at those temperatures and see just how cold it has gotten. We can see the temperatures are in the 30s right now, upper 30s, so we're still a little bit over freezing. In Cleveland, we're sitting at 36, and it doesn't look like the cold front has yet moved through Columbus at 47, but these temperatures will drop, and they'll drop into the 20s by this evening, and it will be bitterly cold with those wind chills. Let's take a look at those winds and see why those wind chills will be so frigid. We can see that the winds are starting to die off. We saw winds gusting over 60 miles per hour last night. However, we're in the 30 to 20 mile per hour, excuse me, I should say 20 to 30 mile per hour range of winds. And the more powerful winds have moved off with that low pressure system to the east. Now let's take a look at that all-important 3-day forecast and see if those temperatures will rise. And it doesn't really look like that. It actually looks quite the opposite. We'll see temperatures drop throughout the weekend, and Sunday looks like we'll see some freezing rain with a high of 31 degrees. That's all I have for weather. How about those Steelers, Brendan?
Football season's over, Lee. I don't know what you wanted from me. I'm Brendan Bittner, and let's get to all the action in AU sports this week. The women's basketball team picked up a huge win on Saturday afternoon at Case Gymnasium, knocking off the number 8 team in the country, Michigan Tech. The Huskies came into the contest undefeated in the conference. The Eagles came away with an 80-77 victory in overtime. Tech hit a three-pointer with 4 seconds left to send the game to OT, but the Eagles scored the first 6 points of the extra time and walked away with the win. Lindsey Gott had 22 points off the bench. That's a career high for her in 41 minutes. She never left the floor after entering, with 16 minutes left in the first half. She also committed none of the team's just 9 turnovers. The Eagles are 9-7 and in 5th place in the GLIAC. They're at Saginaw Valley tonight. The men's basketball team lost to Michigan Tech on Saturday, 72-70. Ashland led through most of the game, but the Huskies took the lead and held on in the second half. The Eagles had a chance at the buzzer, but Bylan Hatcher's shot fell short, though it appeared heavy contact was made. Despite protests from the Ashland bench, the no call stood, and the Eagles dropped their second on the weekend. Head coach Roger Lyons was suspended by the GLIAC for tonight's game against Saginaw Valley for commenting on officiating with the Ashland Times-Gazette. The wrestling team came away with a win over Findlay on Saturday, 24-14. Several Eagles won their matches on the night, including a pin by Scott Meyer at 141 pounds. Josh Ull at 197 and Justin Ferguson at 174 continued their dominance this season with wins. Brandon Jacobs, Jacob Bartley, and Tommy Grazel also won matches on Saturday. The Eagles are home tomorrow for their alumni and senior night at Case Gymnasium at 7 p.m. And the football team and head coach Lee Owens welcomed a new recruiting class on February 4th. The Eagles signed 30 new players, including 4 local products. A bulk of the class is made up of 11 offensive linemen. The Eagles worked on the defensive side of the ball as well, with 18 players who have a shot on defense under brand new defensive coordinator Tim Rose. He comes from a 4-year stint at Toledo, where he held the same position. The Eagles open the season on August 27th at Bloomsburg. That's all for AU Sports this week. For more in-depth coverage on the Eagles, check out Game Time Situation tonight at 6:30 right here on TV2. We'll be back.
She won her first race by 13 lengths. The next month, she broke her leg. Using a surgical procedure developed through research with animals, doctors repaired it. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Unleashing a furious one on the outside in a 1/6 of a mile from the wire. Willie Collins is there. Personal Ensign, a dramatic finish.
Personal Ensign ran 13 times and retired as an undefeated champion. You see, animal research saves animals too.
Big dreams and good grades aren't enough to get into college. There are actual steps you need to take. Finding someone who can help is the first and most important. For the next steps, go.org.
Welcome back. I'm Kelsey Miller with this week's Health Report. Since the first scares of salmonella outbreak earlier this year, everyone has been on the edge of their chairs waiting for all the peanut butter to become safe again. Well, if the peanut butter scare wasn't enough for you, Sprig.com has come up with 10 other foods that can be dangerous to you. Farmed salmon, conventionally grown bell peppers, non-organic strawberries, Chilean sea bass, non-organic peaches, genetically modified corn, bluefin tuna, industrially farmed chicken, non-organic apples, and cattle treated with RBJH. For more detailed information on why these foods are dangerous to you, please go to health.msn.com. Not only is Rihanna an amazing singer, but she is an amazing person. She loves her fans and wants to help them in any way possible. One of her biggest yet littlest fans is a 5-year-old girl that has acute leukemia and is in dire need for a bone marrow transplant. Rihanna is doing all she can for her little fan. Keep a lookout for updates and details about how you can help with the young child's recovery. Do you have children, aunts, uncles, cousins, mothers, fathers, or even grandparents? Do they show you love every day? Well, in recent studies, if young children have a closer relationship with their mothers or providers, it has been proven that they test better on cognitive tests rather than babies who just receive food, shelter, and basic needs. So make sure you mothers and fathers out there are loving your children every day and telling them that you love them. Well, that's all the health I have for you this week. Now over to Rachel with your dose of entertainment.
Thank you, Kelsey. I'm Rachel King with your entertainment, straight from Hollywood. Family news caused Usher to cancel his pre-Grammy performance. Both the entertainer and his mother phoned and canceled rehearsals and performances. It is said that Usher had a serious illness in the family. Representatives for Usher have declined to comment or elaborate on the situation. Chris Brown does not seem to be doubling his pleasure this week. Brown turned himself into authorities investigating alleged felony battery. Police say that the R&B singer and a woman thought to be his girlfriend Rihanna had an escalated argument. Both were nominated and scheduled to perform at the Grammy Awards, but neither showed. Brown is not being held in custody at this time. Houston has re-entered her stardom looking better than ever. Stunning Whitney Houston returned to the stage at a pre-Grammy party sounding strong. After her fall into drugs and a sinking personal life, it is good to see that she is making a comeback. This comeback includes an album released this year, which seems promising. A Billy Ray concert was interrupted by fire. The concert was being filmed for Extreme Makeover Home Edition when a fire broke out nearby. The fire is reported to have been caused by a broken out chimney fire. Luckily, there were no injuries and all spectators were safely evacuated. Simpsons stole the spotlight, but not in a good way.
Jessica Simpson had a reported off night last Friday when she opened for the Rascal Flatts. Simpson forgot the words and struggled with technology during her performance. Simpson fought back tears during the performance, mouthing sorry to the screens. Well, that's all I have for this week's entertainment. We will have more news when we return.
Do you think you'd notice if you were missing half of your money, or half your friends, your better half, your half and half? What if you were missing half of your kidney function? You'd think you'd notice, but you could have chronic kidney disease right now and not even know it. According to the National Kidney Foundation, 20 million people have chronic kidney disease, and 20 million more may be at risk and not even know it. Chronic kidney disease is a growing epidemic. Anyone with high blood pressure, diabetes, or a family history of chronic kidney disease is at risk. Certain ethnic groups are at an even higher risk. Early diagnosis and treatment of this disease and its complications are vitally important. To get the whole story on chronic kidney disease, talk to your doctor and visit the National Kidney Foundation at kidney.org or call 1-800-622-9010 for a free brochure. Because when it comes to chronic kidney disease, you might not know the half of it.
No matter what type of home renovation you're planning, put this at the top of your to-do list. Make sure your family is up to date on the tetanus vaccine, because after 10 years, none of you are protected against tetanus and another potentially fatal disease, diphtheria. A minor injury, such as a cut or a scrape, can put you at risk for a tetanus infection. And while safety gear offers some protection, an up-to-date vaccination called the TD booster is your best insurance against tetanus. If it's been more than 10 years since your last booster, then it's not just your house that's out of date, it's you. If it's been 10, do it again. Talk to your health care provider to find out if it's time for a TD booster or visit nfid.org.
Welcome back. In upcoming events, the Student Activities Office is hosting an acoustic cafe tonight at 9 p.m. in the Eagle's Nest. You can listen to your friends play or bring your own guitar. Students can sign up to play on site, and there is always free food, so be sure to check out that tonight.
Now the moment you have all been waiting for, the TV2 Top 5 Favorite Valentine's Day Gifts. Number 1 is a massage therapy or personal training gift certificate, which can be purchased at the rec center. Candy, chocolate, that is always nice to gesture, and you can't go wrong with candy from the heart.
And in the number 3 spot, cards, homemade or store-bought cards. They are a nice way to express how you really feel. And number 4, jewelry. Diamonds are always a girl's best friend. And number 5, last but not least, are flowers. When in doubt, just give her flowers. And that concludes TV2's top 5 Valentine gifts. We hope that we inspired you. Also, today is the last day to register for Kids and Sibs Weekend. So if you are planning to attend, register today.
Throughout the month of February, there will be many other fun and exciting events happening, such as a lip sync competition on the 18th, and cash prizes will be given out to those winners. An evening of celebration dinner on the 25th in the Convocation Center, and on the 26th, a spoken word performance by Gina Loring, who has been featured on HBO and BET. So be sure to keep a lookout for those upcoming events.
Well, today is the Thursday before Valentine's Day, so are you guys making big plans? Anything coming up this weekend?
I actually am going to go home and hang out with my best friend from high school, so that's my Valentine's Day.
I don't have any big plans this week. We're actually taking my dad to the airport to travel to England to see our relatives. So.
Oh, wow.
I get a first date this weekend, so exciting.
Good luck.
Yeah. I think I'm going to be spending mine with my boyfriend, so
exciting.
It'll be a good weekend. Well, that about does it for tonight's Ashland 2-Night News. Thank you for tuning in.
Special thank you to our TV2 crew, and make sure you tune in next week for another exciting episode of AU TV2. Goodbye.
Good night, everyone.